Hello everyone, it's Dr. Waya here to talk about detox and some of the basic things that people confuse with just detoxification in general, because I've had people ask me, what is detox or what is a toxin? So something as basic as what is a toxin? You just think, well, it's just something that is just not appropriate for your body, period. It's just something that's not appropriate for your body. Well, that goes even further because it has to be specifically for you. Because what could be a toxin for you might be okay for somebody else. Okay, so I had a conversation once with the conventional medicine GI doctor, and he was saying, soy's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with soy. First, it depends on the type of soy, but it also depends on what your body's doing. Okay, because what's happening in our society today is there's a lot of high estrogen states. Estrogen, the female hormone. There's endocrine disruptors everywhere. Our hand sanitizers, the food, the stuff that they're spraying on a lot of the crops and plants that we're eating. A lot of it has things that cause endocrine disruption. And that's why there's a high state of hormonal imbalance, a high state of people having all these menopausal symptoms from high estrogenic states, fibroids, endometriosis, all sorts of things everywhere. Now it's like the norm. You go because of fibroids and they want to take out your uterus. These are all high estrogen states. And so if that's part of what's happening for you, which you might not have any of that yet, but on the mental emotional spectrum, we can pick up if you actually have estrogen dominance. Now, if that's the case for you, anything that's going to create that is going to be a toxin for you, including meats, especially just regular, conventionally like raised and grown animal products out there. That'll be a toxin for you. Another example would people and alcohol, and their liver is already in a state of distress, which might not even be picked up on any imaging or blood work. Your liver enzymes could be normal. And you're still drinking alcohol because that's what you see. If you've heard a lot of my talks, again, it takes a while for an organ to be energetically out of balance, vibrating off frequency before that even translates into the bloodstream, for it to then show up in your blood work as your lab results. That takes a long time, or can take a long time. So just because your labs show that your liver is fine doesn't mean it is. And this is why you have to understand how you can check that, which we do over here without doing lab work. But if that is you and you're out drinking alcohol is a toxin for you, because other people are enjoying that stuff and their body isn't going downhill, but guess what? Yours is. So when you go out, you need to go to one of these nice places that make dandelion tea recipes that are awesome. Give a shout out to So Veganly. I love their dandelion tea. It is the best. It tastes like a coffee brew, the best. But anyway, that's what you need to be doing. And so this is why it's important to know thyself. Know thyself. This is what I keep talking about with all this stuff with the pandemic and all that stuff going on. You have to know yourself, because a toxin is whatever is not only inappropriate for the body to take in, but also inappropriate specifically for you to take in. That becomes your toxin. Same thing applies to people in relationships. Okay, so one person might be toxic for somebody else. There, for you, it's fine, or they're toxic for you, but out there they're fine with other people. So guess what? Okay, that's the same thing with a toxin. You have to start to read beyond the lines of what is put out there for certain things, and always bring it back to yourself. What is a toxin? And another toxin that I know you're not thinking about is you. Yes, because a lot of times your habits, or the lack thereof, is actually what is spurring you taking in the toxins, your attitude about it, the carefreeness about taking in toxins. Oh, we're all gonna die one day. It's not about dying one day. Everyone's gonna die. It's about, we all came here to live a certain way, care for ourselves and our body, care enough for our bodies to live out the purpose for why we came here in the first place. That's the feedback mechanism that you give your body. It's a feedback mechanism you give the temple you're in. It's a feedback mechanism you give your spirit. And you take something constantly knowing it's not healthy, and you're putting it in there, and you're saying to your body, well, I don't care, everything's toxic, I'm gonna die anyway. So what's your body do? She gonna die anyway. It's fine. You have to care a little bit more than that. You do. You have to pay more attention to yourself. Pay more attention to your body. Pay more attention to what's happening inside of you. So you start recognizing what is your own toxin. Okay? And I hear that from almost everyone that comes in here. In fact, I heard it from one of my patients today. Once you do our detox, especially with our bioresonance that really works on clearing the actual energy in the body, and you go back and you think you can just take some of these foods in, it doesn't work very well. And that's a great thing. You know why? Because once your brain and your body's back to its healthy, optimal state, when you actually take in things that fuel your body and it's healthy for the body, you have a positive response in the brain. So you recognize this is the norm, because our norm has been skewed. And people look at people that are eating healthy like, oh, you're always eating healthy. The people go out and say, oh, you're always eating unhealthy. How about that? Okay, let's change the programming. Okay, let's change this whole thing. Yes, we can, because it's up to us. We accepted it, we took these belief systems in, and we can change it. So start thinking deeply about a toxin. And I will be back to talk more about detox tips that people are missing and why a lot of people are doing it wrong, or doing it in a way that's really not effective, or doing it in a way that it's hard for them to take their health and wellness to the next level that they need to get to. Okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. One love, ashe, and avoid being toxic to yourself. That's really where it all starts. Ise.